Okay, I think we're live. Just gonna wait and see if YouTube will update here. We are indeed live. Let me just share this link out to a couple people. Super professional. Mute the freaking test. Okay, let's get it going. Let's do a quick recap of last week, and then we'll get into week 2. Winning week in week 1. Okay. Here's the spreadsheet. Nine and 7 for week 1. Lost the lock of the week, hit the dog of the week, and the 6-point teaser. Arizona adding 6 points. They're already getting 3. And then adding 6 points to the Saints, taking them up to 10.5. That was another easy one. Never even in doubt. Tough break for the Patriots. Dallas on Thursday night. Great to start off with a win. Jacksonville, Houston. That one was a stinker. Picked the Bills. Got a lot. I like the Bills to win the division. I mentioned that last week. I'm streaming this here from Syracuse, New York. Obviously, a lot of Buffalo Bills fans here. I changed my mind on the Steelers. I'll tell you what. The Jets, that line actually changed throughout the week. Managed to get them at plus 5.5 when I streamed it out, and they got the cover for us. Philly, Atlanta, I'm not a Falcons guy. I'm not a believer. We'll see what we got for week 2. The lock, once it went to overtime, it's what are we going to do there? Cardinals, Kyler looked incredible. Nobody cares about your fantasy team, but he's on mine, and that was incredible. Led the league in points 4 in week 1. Can you call it? So the San Fran line also moved Can you call it a backdoor cover there? I'm not sure with the Lions. And maybe I was a little too high on the Colts and down on the Seahawks. Another tough one. I think a lot of people were believers in Washington. That line also moved. They became favorites after I'd streamed. Didn't matter. Aaron Rodgers, an all-time bad game. And a lot of people are saying that he's a spy on the inside. He's taking down the organization from within. We'll see. They got a big spread coming up for week 2. Really quick here, closing it out for week 1. Giants, I thought the home dog, I don't know. Maybe I was just wrong on them. Cleveland, they looked like they were going to cover the entire time. They did. And then we had the Sunday night game where the Bears just had no shot. And last night's game, electric. Thought the Raiders weren't going to get it done, but they pulled that out for us. They were dogs. So even a field goal wouldn't have mattered at the end there. Had the Raiders score or had the Ravens scored, excuse me. So let's get into week 2. I see Labrat777 in the chat. Good to see you. And let's just fix this. It's not me. I'm not playing the Jets. Okay. I mentioned week 1 that I'm very seldom going to fade the Patriots. Taking them on the road against the Jets, not looking good. But 6 points. I think they build off of that week 1. Get it done for us. Oh, just another quick thing. I do automate this. So our pick percentage was shown before, and then we've got our win percentage. Road dogs were barking for us. Love to see that. 71% win rate when I pick road dogs. Moving on. So we got the Giants heading to the football team. I know this is a show where I'm going to pick against the spread, but I do want to comment on the total. Let's pull that up here because I don't track it on the sheet. Total's 40.5 for that game. Super low total. Washington's supposed to have incredible defense. Just a little nugget for you. National TV games, 3-0 to the over so far this season. So if this one goes over, it might be something to monitor. The last 9 meetings of these two teams, 7-2 to the under. And in their last 13 games, all under the same coach, Washington 11-2 to the under. So make sure you check out, even though it's a low total, 40.5, take a look at that under. We got Denver heading to Jacksonville. Denver defense is going to be highly sought for fantasy this week. I skipped. Did I? No, I'm good. Errors. Just like the Broncos to cover here. Not a ton of excellent analysis. And same thing with the next one. I do have a stat for you about the Raiders heading to Pittsburgh. Their last 6 times that the Raiders have won their home opener and then head east, haven't won. And I'm on the Steelers, my guy, Jersey Jerry. So we'll take Pittsburgh minus 5.5. And now I'm just noticing that I don't have my dog and lock marked here. I actually haven't decided on a 6-point teaser either. So we'll do that live. It was always Jersey Jerry. Shout out Jersey Jerry. The Bengals heading to Chicago. Listen, the Bengals looked so much better in week 1 than they did last year. Obviously, Joe Burrow roughly half the season out. I think this is a rat. And we got LabRat777 in the chat. It looks too easy to take the 2.5 with the Bengals. I'm rolling with the Bears. The Bears. Saints heading to Carolina. They looked phenomenal, but also the Packers looked terrible. So we're going to stick with the Saints here. Another rat line. Niners heading to Philly. Laying 3.5. I'm going to take the home dog. Jalen Hurts looks good. So there's this handicapper, Andrew McGinnis. I think he's an idiot, and I want to fade him. Look to the over in this game. What's the over at? $50. Liking the over there. Important to note, Jimmy G did not have a turnover in week 1. And then we got the Rams heading to the Colts. I'm going to run it back with the Colts here. I thought they could have gotten it done for me in week 1. We're going to give them a try again. And Houston heading to Cleveland. So Houston looked a lot better than everybody thought. But now, was it a turnover? I think he fumbled the opening snap. Was it a turnover? See, that's another thing. Andrew McGinnis, I'm taking stats from you. I think you're an idiot. The Browns looked incredible. They looked like they were going to cover the entire game. They did cover. I'm sticking with the Browns. I think they're going to make a run. We got Buffalo heading to Miami, a divisional game. And I gave out last week that you would think I don't have last week's notes here. You would think that divisional games would go under in the beginning of the season. They actually go over the first 2 weeks. Then we want to look to the under. I'm fading Buffalo again. I do think they'll win the division, but I like Miami to cover here. 3.5. Got a sharp guy on Twitter, gave out the Bucks laying 12 at home against the Falcons. Gave that out a couple days ago, so I jumped on that one. Minus 12. Vikings. You know, I said I'm a Mike Zimmer guy. OG Chaw Dog. But Arizona just looks so good, and I'm gonna ride them till they give me a reason not to. And we got the Titans heading to Seattle, catching 5.5. I mentioned earlier that I'm pretty down on the Seahawks, and I think there's going to be some overreaction here. Titans should bounce back. I like them catching 5.5. And here's another one. We got Dallas and the Chargers heading to the Chargers. Do I have anything on this one? Yeah. So what we want to look at here is that Chargers defense, Dak's pass attempts and completions. That's a prop to look at, or two props really. He had 58 attempts week 1. And I'd also like to look at the over in this game. Here's a stat for you. The last time the Cowboys won and scored less than 30 points was all the way back in 2018. Chiefs and the Ravens, they're scheduling these, powerhouse games early. I'm down on the Raiders after all those turnovers from Lamar Jackson. The Chiefs looked really good. Did not look like they were going to cover pretty much the entire game against the Browns. I like them on the road against the Ravens. I think they get up for this game, quarterback battle. And last one, another one that I think is going to be an overreaction is that late push from the Lions and just a terrible performance from Aaron Rodgers. I'm sure everybody saw that stat that if he had just thrown the ball into the dirt every time, would have had a better passer rating in week 1. I like them to bounce back and cover this 11. Now, let's go about picking this lock dog tease here. So my lock, Labrat 777 likes Philly. I like Philly as well. We're going to steal your lock. We'll lock that. Bold. Whoops. Pasted the link by accident. Lock that in. Always color. Not prepared today. And then Monday night gets orange. Okay. So when my lock is actually a dog, I will go with another dog of the week. And this week, I like the Dolphins. Lock the Eagles plus 3.5 at home against the Niners. Our dog of the week, the Dolphins at home, giving Buffalo some of that southern heat. And then a 6-point teaser. Now, the Steelers looks good. You could get it to plus 0.5. I don't like to cross 0. Taking the Browns down to minus 6.5. They got to win by a touchdown. That looks okay. Take the Bucks down to 6. That looks okay. For the first leg, let's take Green Bay down to minus 5. Cross a couple key numbers there in 7, 6.5, and 6. And see, I don't want to use teams twice in these picks. Otherwise, I'd take the Dolphins up to 9.5. Let's take Titans up to 11.5. We can cross a couple key numbers there in 6, 6.5, 7, and also 10. So Your lock of the week is going to be the Eagles plus 3.5. Dog of the week, Dolphins catching 3.5. And your 6-point teaser, Green Bay -5. Titans plus 11.5. I do apologize. I didn't turn on the banner for the call-in line. Just not prepared for this broadcast. Didn't even start on time at 6:00. Trying to be better. 9-7 last week. Didn't hit the lock, but we start off 1-0 on our dog of the week and our 6-point teasers. Let me just see if there's any other notes that I had that I didn't get to. Chiefs and Ravens. There was a big line move after Monday Night Football. And the other important thing to note about this Ravens defense, Derek Carr threw for 435 yards on him. So just imagine what Patrick Mahomes is going to do. For the Steelers and the Raiders game. Short week for the Raiders. Keep that in mind. And, touting Pittsburgh here. The Raiders do not have that safety core that the Bills have. Something else to note on that game, like I said, I don't cap totals, but I can give you some things to look at. That first half under, I believe it's 20.5. Let me just double check here. Even better. 23 is the first half total. I like that to go under. The Steelers did not score in the first half against the Bills. And something else to note on that game, couple offensive line injuries for the Raiders. Any other notes that I had? New England's defense, highly sought after in fantasy. Zach Wilson, had flashes of performance. I liked him in college. Made a couple bucks betting on BYU. In particular, the Halloween game where they wore the ghost white uniforms. The kids love that. Shout out to Rico Bosco for that lock. But yeah, Zach Wilson, very hot and cold. If you can grab the Patriots defense in fantasy this week, something to look for. We got Washington tomorrow night. Another reason to pick the Giants. Fitz is out. And they got that kid Heineke playing quarterback. Might expect Fitz to be out next week as well. It was a hip injury, and I think he's 35 plus. Generally takes a couple weeks to heal from that. And with Denver, I know I'm rolling Denver -6. Jerry Jeudy with a high ankle sprain. I think that's about all I had. I was expecting these broadcasts to go 20, maybe 15 minutes. We're at just about 25 after about a 1-minute delay on starting. We'll be back next week, more prepared, and hopefully showcasing some winners. Yeah, short-term IR out at least 3 weeks. Yep. That hip injury. If you watched Hard Knocks, with Dak doing that weird dance. The hip injury definitely ailing for a quarterback. So I'm going to cut it here. Once again, your lock of the week, Eagles at home against the Niners, plus 3.5. Another home dog, the Dolphins against the Bills, also catching 3.5. Your 6-point teaser, Green Bay down to -5, and the Titans up to plus 11.5. Just one other thing to look at. Let's see the road dogs, because we did hit 71% in week 1. Do we have? Oh man, I'm all over the home teams this week. Not good. So Giants, we'll look at that one. And the Titans. Giants and Titans. So hopefully we can add with at least one of those and keep that record high for as long as possible. Special thanks to LabRat777 for tuning in. Love the commentary. And thank you for helping me out with that lock of the week. We'll see you next week here on Profit Picks at 6. As always, please gamble responsibly. Thanks, everybody.